You know that secret little thrill you get when plans get canceled? Well, today we're going to talk about why that amazing feeling might actually be the first bar of what some call a comfort cage, that safe space that, well, can slowly turn into a prison.
I mean, we've all been there, right? Your phone buzzes, you see the message, and that sweet, sweet wave of relief just washes over you. It feels incredible. Your entire evening just opened up, no social battery required. It's like a gift.
But here's the big question we're diving into today. What if that simple joy, that little rush of relief, is actually quietly building the bars of a cage all around you? Let's take a closer look. So, to really get a handle on this cage, we first have to understand why escaping feels so good. Let's start with that really powerful and seemingly harmless feeling, the joy of canceling. This is what the sources call the comfort cage. It's that moment when your safe space, your little refuge to recharge, crosses a line. The feeling of safety becomes an addiction to isolation. And the result? The world outside starts to feel a little bit scarier, and your own world just gets smaller and smaller. So how does just liking a night and turn into a full-blown cage? Well, it's not some kind of failure of willpower. It's actually a super predictable pattern that's wired right into our biology. Let's dig into the brain's addiction loop. Okay, so at its core, your brain is all about efficiency. Its main job is survival, right? And that means getting the best results, safety, comfort, while using the least amount of energy possible. It is always, always looking for a shortcut. And in doing that, it learns a really simple but really powerful role. Going out, socializing, it can be demanding, unpredictable. It costs energy. So your brain starts to log that as stress. But staying home? That's predictable. It's quiet. It's safe. So the brain's little equation becomes people equals stress. Alone time equals safety. And this creates this powerful three-step loop. First, you avoid something social. Step 2, you feel that instant rush of relief. That's a dopamine hit, right to the brain. And third, because dopamine feels good, it's a reward, your brain wants more of it. So you repeat the behavior. Avoid, relief, repeat. And every time you do it, the cage gets just a little bit stronger. Okay, so this brings us to a really crucial question. How do you tell the difference between healthy, necessary alone time and a restrictive cage that you've kind of built by accident? So how can you actually tell where you fall on that spectrum? Let's go through a few signs that might help you figure out if you're just recharging or if you're actually hiding. The source material gives us some really good questions to ask ourselves. So just take a second and think about these. Do you find yourself dodging calls, even from people you actually like? Do you use "I'm busy" as an excuse when you're really just staying home? Does the idea of meeting new people just feel totally exhausting? And this last one, it's a subtle one. Do you feel a sense of pride in the idea that you don't need anyone? The difference really comes down to how it leaves you feeling. Real, intentional solitude, it feels grounding. It sparks creativity. It makes you feel whole. The comfort cage, though, is different. It's more of a numb feeling. It leads to disconnection. And over time, it can make you feel like your world and maybe even you are getting smaller. And here's the real danger in all this. It's not that you're broken or something's wrong with you. It's just that you've gotten so good at living in a small, safe world that your social self, that part of you that connects and explores and deals with people, has pretty much just gone to sleep. But here's the good news. This is not a permanent state. You can absolutely find your way back. And it doesn't have to be some giant, terrifying leap. Let's look at the gentle way out. And this is so important. Breaking free does not mean you have to suddenly become a social butterfly and go to a massive party. No way. The solution is much, much gentler. It's all about something called micro-interactions. We're talking tiny, super low-stakes social exercises. Things like just saying hi to the barista making your coffee, asking your neighbor how their day is going, giving a stranger a quick compliment. You don't even have to talk, just sitting in a park, being near other people. That counts too. And the whole point of doing these little things is actually pretty profound. Each one is like a tiny piece of new evidence for your brain. You're gently, slowly retraining it. You're teaching it that, hey, connection doesn't always have to equal stress. You're creating new positive pathways and weakening that old, rigid people are scary rule. And all of this leads to one last, much bigger question. Is the comfort cage a real personal addiction that we have to fight? Or is it just a totally normal reaction to a world that demands we are always on, always available? Maybe the real challenge isn't just breaking out of the cage, but trying to build a world where we don't feel like we need to hide in one in the first place. Definitely something to think about.